Hey guys, and welcome to the second episode of the All Things Yarn podcast. My name is Victoria, I live in Norway, and I am the host of this podcast. I don't really have a plan, as you know. This is the second episode. The first episode, I had no plan. The second episode, I still have no plan. But I have a lot of really good stuff to show you. It's Friday, July 24th, I think. And it's been 2 weeks and 3 days since I last podcast, and in those 2 weeks and 3 days, I knit so much. Not only did I knit much, but there is also a sale at my local yarn shop, so I also got a lot of new yarn. I'm not gonna show you all the new yarn. I'm gonna show you select pieces of that in this episode, but I'm gonna show you a lot of finished pieces. And works in progresses. Most of what you're going to see in this episode is going to be like sweaters and some bigger items. It's not going to be like the last episode where I had a lot of smaller items, because once I start knitting for myself, I just keep going. And yeah, we will get to what I've been knitting on this past week. So I just want to say before I start, on the last episode I got a lot of positive feedback. I had people message me on Instagram. That video has over 100 views already, and I just wanted to say thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. There was actually quite a few people who subscribed, and thank you for liking the video if you stayed and watched. In this episode there's also gonna be a giveaway, so stay tuned to the very end of the episode and you will be able to participate in the giveaway. It's not going to be like a super fancy large giveaway, but I just want to give back because it really means a lot to me to see that people are actually watching me talk about yarn with myself for an hour and giving me such good feedback. It really means a lot. So in today's episode, I plan to start with showing you my finished items. Then we're going to move into the works in progress. Then I'm going to be showing a little bit of the yarn that I got. I'm not going to show you all because then we would sit here for like 2 hours just showing the yarn that I got. I probably bought 100 and something 50 gram skeins of yarn, plus 3 200-gram balls. So, as you understand, I can't show you all, but I'll show you some of my favorite bits. And a lot of the yarn was bought for bigger items, so it will be like 10 skeins of these colors. So I'm just going to show you some of it at the end of this episode. The first item that I want to show you is the sweater that I had started in the last episode, and I said I wanted to finish it by the end of the week. I started work the day after I filmed the last episode, and that was a Tuesday. I started work on Wednesday, and I hadn't even separated for the sleeves on this sweater, but I was determined, and once I decide to do something, I typically just go for it. And I had decided I wanted this sweater finished, and I wanted it finished now. So what happened was I knit before work, I knit after work, I did my break, I knit while I was eating lunch, and I work 14-hour shifts. So I cut back quite a bit on the sleeping portion of that. So here it is. You see the marker, that is like approximately where I was last time. I know I had knit like a couple rounds below that, but I had 14 rounds to go before separating for the sleeves or something. So this is that. And this is the No Frills sweater by Petite Knit. The yarn is Du Store Alpaca Sterk. In the last episode I was wearing my burgundy of this. That sweater is the same yarn, and it's the same size of it like this, but this is knit on a looser gauge because I wanted it to have slightly more positive ease. And I regret knitting it with looser gauge. I should have just gone up a size and knit it at the same gauge as the other one. I'm still gonna use it and I still love it, but I think the sleeves are a bit too wide at the first, and it's also like just slightly too long between the cast on and the underarm. You can see that it's a little bit too long. So I still love this sweater and I'm gonna wear it for work. It's just got a little bit too big at the top for me, because I thought I would be smart and just go up half a needle size, but that made the whole sweater bigger, not just the width of the body. So, but I still love it. I haven't worn it yet because I've been at home or at work, and it's just been, the weather hasn't been for sweaters, it's just been raining, warm but raining, so I had to wear like rain jackets and stuff at work. So this is the No Frills sweater and I'm super happy about it. I kind of want to cast on another one, but I already have 3 of this exact sweater, so I'm not sure if I want a 4th. I love the fit of this, so I probably want a 4th, but I think with the yarn that's available in Norway, you can see like this is just one color. It's not tonal, it doesn't have any like, I don't know how to say it, but it's just plain one color, like this sport sweater that I'm wearing. And I kind of want a sweater that's more like, there's more play to the colors. Like there will be like a couple of rounds that are slightly darker. You will get that with hand-dyed yarn, but I know there's also some yarns over in the US. I know, for example, Lion Brand has one, I think, that has a little bit play in the colors. But I haven't found any like that in Norway, so I do want another one of this, knit with a smaller gauge but one size larger, just to get it baggy, like wider but not bigger on the top, because the size that's bigger than this, it's the same length from here to here and it's the same width of the arms. The only difference is the size of the body. But before I do that, I think I'll have to order some yarn, maybe hand-dyed, maybe from Lion Brand. Maybe you know of another good brand to try. I know Knit Picks, but they don't send to Norway. They only send to, I think, the UK, the US, Canada, and Australia, so I can't buy it from there. But yeah, I'm super happy with this. I used exactly 1 week on this. I said I wanted to get it done by Sunday, but I finished it Monday morning before work. Yeah, and then these kind of items usually get stuck on sleeve island, which is where you separate it for the sleeves, or you have to separate for the sleeves, or where you did the separation and you knit the body but you're just too lazy to get the needles in. There's also a lot of close related islands like Weaving in Ends Island, Change Needles and Knit Rib Island. So I'm really happy that this one didn't get stuck on any of those islands. And if you watched the last episode, you probably know that I think I showed a blue sweater in merino, and that was, I knit the body and I knit the sleeves. Now I have to join that in the round and start knitting the color work. But that sweater is stuck on sleeve island, or like join arms to body island, and it will probably be stuck on that island for a while. And not only because I hate joining, and I know once I get it joined it will take me like a day or 2 to finish it, but I just hate the actual joining part. And then also because I don't think I have enough yarn for the color work. I think I'm missing 1 skein of white, so I want to go and get the white yarn before I start it, so I don't knit 2 skeins and then I'm like, oh shit, I'm missing 50 grams of white. and then it's another dye lot of the yarn. I did go downtown today to see if they had, but they didn't have the white yarn. They had all the other colors in this yarn, but not the white. They were sold out. So that I'm gonna get that done. I showed it. I said I had to finish it because I showed it. I am gonna finish it. It just didn't happen in these 2 weeks. And then after I was finished with the gray sweater, I had a lot of yarn left. I'm really shit at measuring how much yarn I need. So when I was done with that sweater, I had, I think, 360 meters left of that yarn. And then my mom finished her sweater. She knit a size smaller than me, but we ordered the same amount of yarn. So I have 450 meters or something left of the yarn from her sweater, which the color of her sweater is really pretty. It's an orange color, but it's not something that I would wear myself or that I would sell in my online shop or at craft fairs, because it's not the orange color of my brand, so I don't want to confuse my customers with adding that. But with my leftovers, I knit a simply braided beanie. I knit it the same day as I finished the sweater, so as you can see, I had the motivation to keep going at that point. It's really hard to see in this color, but there are some braids on it. I showed it last time, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. It's just a really simple hat. You just knit in the round until you're at the top. When you're at like here, you drop the stitches and you crochet them back up 3 and 3 strands. The pattern for this is in my Ravelry. I am gonna link it below. I think the pattern is like $4 or $4.50, but it does come with a video tutorial as well as a picture description in the pattern for how to do the braids, and of course the written explanation for it. And so if you have some, this is DK, but you could also use thin worsted. I know some of my testers use thin worsted. Leftovers, you can make this. This is the large adult size that used 120 meters, and then I think that the smallest size, which is 0 to 12 months, used 70 meters or something like that. And while we are on the topic of the simply braided beanie, I'm not going to talk about it, I just want to show it. I finished, these two were basically finished in the last episode, but I didn't show them because they weren't quite finished, and I just wanted to finish them before showing them. So this is the, again, we're really bad at like knowing how much yarn we need. This is the leftovers from another sweater my mom knit, and I still have 3 skeins left of this, so I have 150 grams left. I don't know what to do with it. I'm sure I'm gonna find something, but I don't know. So I knit her, this is for her, a simply braided beanie, and then I have, with some merino yarn that I got years ago, this is size 3 to 8 years old. And until like this past month, I have been really good about using out of my stash and not buying new yarn. But then I went out and bought a lot of yarn this past month. So that didn't go so well, like it was supposed to. And I showed this item to you the last time in a different color, but I am going to show it again. This is the bubble beanie. I said I would have it live in my Ravelry by now, but life happened and I just wasn't motivated. And for me it's important that like my knitting and writing patterns and designing patterns, it's not my job, so it gets done when I'm motivated to do it. And these past 2 weeks I just wasn't motivated to design or write up the pattern, so it didn't get done. I might have to do it this weekend because I do want to get it published. So this is size ridiculously large head, aka, oh no, I have my hair braided in the back, so I'm not sure, trying to get it on without ruining my braids. So this might be for me, it might be for someone else, I don't know. But that's that. As you know, I got a lot of this yarn. And I said this is Du Stor Alpaka Big Sterk. And I said in my last episode that I wanted to do a giveaway with that yarn in the future because it's my favorite yarn. I contacted the company that has this yarn after the last episode just to see if they had any white, because it said that was out of their selection of colors. And they told me they're discontinuing the yarn. So whatever is in stock right now is what's left of this yarn, and they won't make it again. So I'm really sad about that. But I got some yarn, and I'm probably gonna put in an order this week for like however many skeins they have left. They didn't have a lot left when I checked last, and they were out of this color, which is a shame because this is my favorite color of all times. And then I also finished a cowl, the bubble cowl, 5.5mm needles, the same yarn, Big Sterk, which is an iron weight. You could also use a thick worsted on this. My testers from the US used thick worsted because they said iron was kind of hard to get by. This is also a pattern that's live in my Ravelry, $4. And yeah, so I'm not sure, it was before the last episode, but I published this pattern, and I had never gotten a sale on this one Norwegian website, and I had never had a sale on my Etsy either. I only had sales on Ravelry. But after the last episode, I don't know what happened, but a lot of people, especially from Norway, was buying this pattern, and that was really great. My phone just kept dinging. I was like, what? And it was pattern sales, and I'm super happy. And even 3 days ago, I got my first ever Etsy sale, which I'm super happy about. I know a lot of people talk about, like, don't be discouraged if you just have one sale in your first month. It took them forever to get sales. So I still don't have a lot of sales, but I'm like super happy because I know people are struggling to get their first sales, and I don't know, I've had a lot of sales, like, considering I'm just starting out, so I'm really happy about that. And this I'm gonna make a lot of to bring with me to the craft fairs if they happen this fall. If they don't happen, I'll just sell them online or something, or I'll have a lot of gifts. Then I have two more of that. This one I was at work, I ran out of yarn. I have a skein left inside of this, so I just put in some leftover yarn to save the stitches, because then after I knit this, I ran out of yarn on this. I cut on the blue one, so I needed the needles. And then I have an orange one of the same, but this needs to weave in the ends. But I'm just showing it to you now because it's basically finished. So that was all of my finished items for this week. And I'm trying to like keep it going and make it kind of fast, because I know the last episode was ridiculously long. It was me talking to myself, sitting in the kindergarten for an hour and a half. And I think I don't mind watching those kinds of episodes, but I think not all people enjoy watching other people talk about yarn for 2 hours. I really like watching the Grocery Girls because they have long episodes. So I can just sit and knit and watch them for a couple of hours at a time, which is really great. I also love Kay from the Crazy Sock Lady podcast. She doesn't have long episodes, but she has an episode a week, which is like 20-30 minutes. So I'll usually like not watch her for a week or two, and then I'll just watch all the episodes combined. So I will still have a lot of knit time there. I did also, in this past few weeks, I discovered a couple new podcasts, and I just want to mention them because if you enjoy watching podcasts, especially while you knit, I think The Bearded Pearl and also Needles at the Ready are two good podcasts. the bearded pearl, he's really calm, and it's really soothing to just watch and listen to him talk while he talks about what he's crocheted or knit, and you can just sit there and knit while watching him talk. And he also has a lot of really pretty items that he knits, like really pretty socks. He spins his own yarn. He weaves, and after watching his podcast, I kind of think I have to go and buy so I can try weaving, because he showed a really amazing scarf in one of his episodes, and I was like, I need that. I really need that. So those are two podcasts that I enjoy, and as I didn't talk about Needle Set already, but they are husband and husband who are crocheting and knitting and talking about their stuff. I know they have been doing a couple of live podcasts this past bit. So if you enjoy like communicating and talking to people while they podcast and knit, that's a really good option. I just wanted to put that out there, to share the love, because I enjoy watching them, so I think a lot of you other people also might enjoy watching them. So this entire past year, I've been really loving like hand knit or crocheted summer tops. Problem is, there isn't a lot of knit ones, and the ones that I find that are knit, they're just not something I would imagine myself wearing. So a couple days ago, I think it was Monday this week, so all of what I'm going to show you from now and out of this podcast is things I cast on Monday this week or later. So you will see how much knitting I've gotten done in like this past 4 days. I found on Instagram there was a new pattern being released by a Norwegian designer. It was her first pattern, and it was for a knit summer top, and it looked amazing, I think. When I first saw it, I immediately walked downtown. It takes an hour. I walked downtown, bought yarn for 3 of these tops, and I cast on one the same day when I got home from the yarn shop. And it's not completely finished. I knit it done. I think I'm done with the straps. I have to measure that and just see on my body. I think I'm done. I don't know. I think I'm done. So this is the summer top. It has I-cord straps. I never knit I-cords before, so I'm really happy that I took the plunge and did it. These aren't perfect. There are some wobbly stitches, and it's cotton yarn, so it doesn't really stretch as much. So it doesn't help me that it's cotton yarn. But yeah. And when you see this like this way, it's really hard to see how it's gonna turn out. But the idea is, it's on the tighter side crop top. I just want to show you the texture. It's really nice. It's a tighter fitted crop top, and you just knit a tube like this, and then I don't know how to show you this. If there is good weather next time I podcast, if I finish this, I might have to just put it on and show it. But you just knit a tube like this, then you knit the straps like so, and once you are done, after you weave in all the ends, you're gonna scrunch it together in the front. Yeah, I don't know how to show you. So it kind of looks like a butterfly. It's really pretty when you see it done, especially when the designer is wearing it. It looks really pretty. I need mine slightly longer than it's supposed to, because I'm fat and I just want to hide some more. I think this will be really pretty with a skirt in the summer. But it is heavy because it's a bigger size. It is really heavy. So I'm not sure if the straps are gonna like be able to take the weight. of this. So I have yarn for 2 more. What I'm thinking of doing, I'm gonna finish this. I'm gonna see if this is something I wanna wear. But if I'm gonna make another one of this, I think I wanna make the I-cords. These I-cords are over 6 stitches. I think I want to make them over 8, just to make them slightly more sturdy. But yeah, I cast this on Monday. I finished it not last night, but the night before. While I was at work, working the night shift, I finished this, which is why I didn't do anything more on it. Because I can't think and test it and all that stuff while I'm at the night shift. So it was just getting to this point. It doesn't look good right now, I know that. I acknowledge the fact, but I think this will look really good when it's done. So I just wanted to show you that. I might also, after I cast this on, I got a lot of ideas for summer tops that I kind of want to design. So I might actually use, I got 2 other colors of this yarn. I might actually use that yarn to design with, because I've been loving summer tops this year and summer yarns, like cotton, cotton, all those kinds of yarns. So, and I got a couple of ideas in my head that I want to try. So I might do that. So while I was in the spirit of summer knits, I also went out. Oh, and if I didn't say, there is a cotton sale in my town on one brand, all of their cotton yarn. So yeah, the last time we were at work, my mom knit with this yarn, and I was like, I don't know if I like the texture of that, of the yarn, because I think this is, I have a skein here so I can actually check. This yarn is Drops Belle. Oh, and the other one I showed is Drops Paris, which is an Aran cotton yarn. But this yarn is 53% cotton, 33% viscose, and 14% linen. Looks like this. So yeah, and this is a DK yarn. So I was like feeling her sweater as she was knitting, or she was actually knitting a t-shirt, and I was just like touching it, so like, I don't know that yarn. Are you really gonna wear it? But then I was like, okay, a lot of people are really bragging about this yarn. I'm gonna buy it and test it. And it's really nice to knit with. This is what I have on, the needles. I cast this on last night. It's now Friday. I didn't knit anything today. I cast this on and knit this for last night. This is the Ankers summer blouse. I don't know what it's in English. I know this pattern is in English though, so you can find this online on Ravelry if you want, by Petite Knit. And this pattern just has some really simple ribbing details at the top, and then it goes into stockinette. I am ready to separate for the sleeves. This is originally like a t-shirt, but I went so many rounds with myself, like, am I gonna wear a knitted t-shirt? And I figured out no. Oh, there's sun. There's sun. Maybe I can wear my summer tops too. I figured out no, I'm not gonna wear a knit t-shirt. That's just not me. So I went back to the yarn store today, surprise, and got some more yarn for this, because I figured, well, I think I like the yarn, but I'm not gonna wear a t-shirt, and I already knit this far when I realized. So I went back and bought another 200 grams of this yarn, so I can actually knit sleeves for this, which is great, because then I can wear it. There are days when it's like sweater weather. You know what I'm trying to say, but I can't say it. But it's not like wool weather, so I thought having a thinner sweater that was knit would be a good idea for those days, because I know when I worked in the school, it's not a problem when I work where I work now, because we are outside a lot and in the winter it gets cold, so it's good to have wool on. But when I worked in the school, there were days where it was cold, like you had to wear a sweater, but like wearing a thick wool sweater was just too hot. And so I thought it would be very nice to have a sweater like this. And while we're on the subject, a lot of people are walking by looking at me like I'm crazy. I don't know who I am, but yeah. So a couple years ago, I got some yarn of a lady far away from me. We were on a holiday and I ran out of yarn. But at the same time as like I got the yarn from this lady, I also found a yarn shop and put some yarn from the yarn shop. So I never cast this on. And also it had a really weird smell to it. It doesn't, I don't know how to explain it, because it doesn't smell like, you know, like cigarettes or coffee or something like that. It just smells weird. So I tried to like leave it outside to get rid of the smell, but I wasn't able to. So I don't know. But I've been really motivated, as you probably saw. I finished the sweater, I almost finished the summer top, and I cut on another summer sweater thing. And so I've been really motivated on just like cranking out those big projects this past 2 weeks. So I was like, oh, okay, I have the yarn, I'm gonna cast it on. This is gonna be a blanket for my mom. Yeah, I wasn't supposed to say that, I know she watches, but hey mom, this is a blanket for you. I want to have it done by her birthday, which is in a month and a half. Probably not gonna happen, maybe for Christmas. But yeah. So I just cast on 200, I think, stitches on 5.5 millimeter needles. I also invested in, you know, the interchangeable needles, like you screw it off and you can change the tips. I invested in that because I realized it's good to have, because then I can just buy a couple of extra wires and I have all the sizes. I have 3 to 6 millimeters in 60 centimeter needles, 40, 80, 100, 120. And also when my projects get stuck on like Sleeve Island and other islands, I can just take the needles off and just find a new tube. So that's great. I invested in that in this episode. I'm going to show you some of the other needles. And actually, I think they forgot to up the price of this. These tips are normally $11, but I paid $6.50 for each, and they were not on sale. So I think they forgot to mark the prices up. So it's actually cheaper for me even to buy the tips and the cord than to buy like an actual full needle, because the actual needle I think is $10 or $11. These were $6 and the cord is $3, so it's $9. A good tip. And I do regret a lot that I didn't start buying the interchangeable needles previously. I do regret that. But better late than never. The yarn I'm using for this is, I don't know what yarn it is because it doesn't have the tag around. I think this is Viking blanket yarn. You use 2 skeins to get an adult sized blanket of this ridiculously large yarn. 1 skein is I think 875 meters. So I have a lot of knitting to get done with this yarn. You can see the size of the ball. And one thing, I'm just gonna be honest, I don't like this yarn knitting with it, but I have decided I am gonna do it. I bought the yarn, I had a project in mind, I am gonna knit it. I just have to But you see, there's like, I don't know, I don't like this at all. Maybe if I do it like this, you will be able to see. No, it's not focusing. But it's okay to knit with, but it gets like, because of the yarn, it gets like these weird loose stitches. Like here. What happened there? That's just because of the yarn. So I'm gonna knit this. I probably won't ever buy this yarn again, because I don't like knitting with it at all. And I am seeing that the sun is coming up, so I am sorry about the lighting. I was like, oh, it's such a nice day. It's not raining. It's been raining for a week now, so I haven't been able to podcast sooner. And today it wasn't raining, so I was like, oh, it's perfect. It's clouded, so the light is gonna be great, but it's not raining. But then it's been cloudy the entire day. But the second I sit down to podcast, what do you know? I did also finish a couple other items. So this is gonna be the transition into my yarn. I did finish a couple other items this week, but I already gifted them. One of the items that I finished was the Daybreak Trivet by Christine Ann Studios with this yarn. As you can see, this is a really, really thick yarn. This is ice yarn cotton to jumbo, I think, which is quite similar to Bernat Maker Big. I think that's the name of the yarn, or Hobby Bungee Mini. We don't have any yarn that's similar to that in Norway. Well, I figured out after that we actually do have the Hobby yarn in Norway. But that is quite expensive, so I ordered some yarn of ice yarn. The yarn itself is $3.99 for a large skein. It's the same size as the Bernat Maker Big. So the yarn itself is $3.99, but of course shipping is quite expensive because it comes from Turkey. So shipping is like approximately $4 a skein, so it turns out to be like $8-ish a skein. And you can get 3 trivets out of one skein. I'm gonna link the pattern below so that you can see the trivet, because it's really, really nice. This yarn is cotton on the outside, and I think it's polyester cotton mix on the inside. I don't know. I know, like, to be able to withstand heat, it should be cotton or natural fibers, but I tested this. I boiled some water and put it on this just to see if the yarn would withstand the heat, and it was totally fine. So I finished 3 yellow for my grandma, I finished 1 turquoise for my mom, and I have this. This is enough for 2 more in the turquoise colorway. In the turquoise color. I also have a skein of red with this that I'm gonna make. 3 that is gonna go towards the Christmas and the markets, and then I ordered some more skeins of this so I can make some more. So I have them coming in the mail. When I was in the yarn shop this Monday, I saw this 1 large skein of yarn, and I was like, oh, that's really nice, I want that, but I have enough yarn, I don't need it, and I have another blanket that I'm working on. And then I couldn't stop thinking about it. I went to the yarn store again on Wednesday to buy the yarn for the Anker's top. I didn't buy it. I looked at it again, I didn't buy it. Then I went to the yarn store today. I looked at it, I walked past it, I got my yarn that I was supposed to get, I paid for that, and then I looked at this again. I was like, okay, I've been thinking about this yarn for a week. I can't forget it. I want the blanket with the yarn. I'm just gonna buy it. For a blanket quantity of this yarn, it was just $25, so it's not a huge investment. But look at that cake. So I know a lot of Norwegian people are gonna really hate me right now, but this is 100% acrylic. I don't care. If I were to go in the store and buy a blanket, that would be acrylic. 99% of the time. I could buy a wool blanket, but those are the itchy blankets, and I don't like itchy blankets, so I would probably buy an acrylic or something else, not natural yarn or blanket. So I got this. I got 3 cakes of this to make a large blanket. That should be enough. If it isn't, I will have to see if I can find more of this yarn online. So this is 100% acrylic, and the skeins are 200 grams or 600 meters. So I'm loving this. I'm gonna make a blanket for myself with this. Yeah, I just love it, and it's super soft. And if you're gonna hate in the comments about this being acrylic, just don't. I don't care. Most of the stuff that we buy in the store of clothes and blankets and other stuff, they are acrylic. Like this sweater I'm wearing right now, it's either acrylic or polyester. Like, I try and stay away from it, but if there's something that I really want that is acrylic, or I'll get it. It's not like I'm not gonna get it just because it's acrylic. So yeah, I got this and I love it. And again, I'm sorry for the song. So I also got some other yarn. This is from an order I placed, and this is gonna be a new design. This is Drops Muscat, which is like a mercerized DK weight cotton. My plan with these are to make, as you can see, I've started thinking about Christmas designs. My plan with these are to make some like oven mitt kind of thing. So I got quite a few. I think I got 12 skeins of the red and 6 of the beige. So I have that planned. And then also on the theme of Christmas. Oh, by the way, I've never tried that other yarn. So I'm really looking forward to see how that works out. And then I also have, I'm just gonna show, it's not the same yarn, but I'm just gonna show these 3 together. Drops Nepal. I got 12 skeins of this as well, I think. And then I have been looking forever for some fake fur yarn in Norway, and the one that I found was really thin, so I didn't buy it because it didn't fit what I was planning on doing with it. But I found these in the shop. I have more of the white one. I just have one of this, but it's really soft fur yarn, especially this one. The white one is not as soft, but this one is super soft. So as you can see with the red, this is also gonna be something for Christmas. I'm gonna try and have it up in my Ravelry by the end of September, so we will have a couple of months to make the thing with. I think a lot of people are gonna enjoy this thing. That's just the feeling I'm having. Yeah, so I love this yarn. I haven't tried it, but I love it. It's so soft. I would totally. I see some people make blankets with this, like to take photos on. I might actually do that with some of the white yarn. Make like a small photo prop blanket, because it's really nice. And then I also got 12 skeins of this yarn. That's the right way to make another one of the sweaters. It might be a different pattern, but it will be like the same style. Just a really simple long-sleeved shirt that I can wear when it's sweater weather, but not wool weather. And then to go with the large cotton yarn, I also had to buy a large crochet hook. I have been looking everywhere for some decent sized crochet hook, or some crochet hooks that will go with that yarn, and I couldn't find it. I had given up. So when I was at work, I had the day off. I was working the night shift. So I walked to the yarn store in the city where I work, and I was just gonna buy some yarn because I'd run out of yarn. And I was like, oh, I'm not gonna bother go and check out their hooks because they don't have a 15mm or size PQ hook in Norway. We don't have it. But then I went back to the back of the shop, and not only did I find a 15mm hook, but I found a Clover 15mm hook. So if you haven't tried the Clover hooks, I got one when I was in the US many years ago. But they are really nice to crochet with because of the handle. The handle is nice and thick, and it's like in this non-slip material. And the hook itself, it is, I think it's plastic, but the yarn slides really nice in this. So this was $15, and I don't regret it. It's $15 for a crochet hook, but working with that yarn, it does strain on your hands, so having the right and the good tools really makes a difference. And then on the note of having the right tools, I also just wanted to show you some of the other needle tips I got. 3.5 and 4mm of these. I also have the 5 and the 5.5mm needles, but they are on the blanket and on the... No, they're on the blanket and they're in my bag inside because I used it for the blue crop top summer thing. And the cord isn't in this, but I also got some cords for that. I'm gonna be buying more of these because I really do think it's a great investment. And because then you have all the sizes of needles without having, you know, to like buy 4mm, 60cm, 4mm, 40cm, and then 5mm, 40cm, you know. So I'm just really happy that I finally took the plunge and did that. So that is actually all of the knitted items that I have. I don't have any more knit stuff to show you, but I wanted to do it just to show my gratitude to those of you who are watching. Like 100 something people watched the last episode already, and I'm like, what? So I just wanted to show my gratitude for you guys and do a little giveaway. The giveaway is gonna be for 3 of my patterns. 2 winners are gonna get 3 of my patterns. The patterns are, you can choose freely from my patterns. If you don't like, find 3 patterns among my current patterns that you want, the code will be valid until the end of this year. So if I release something later this year that you want instead, you can use it for that. It doesn't have to be one of my patterns that I have up right now. So 2 winners are gonna be able to choose 3 patterns from my site. And what you have to do in order to win this, you have to hit the subscribe button. I'm sorry, but yeah. And also there's gonna be a prompt, and the prompt is gonna be, what type of knitter are you? I used to be a simply just a winter knitter. I would just knit winter stuff, but this year I've transitioned more into the summer knitter. I've been loving working with cotton yarns and knitting like lighter sweaters. And there's also some other types of knitters. It doesn't have to be like winter or summer. You can also be a product knitter. That is also me. I like knitting for the product. Of course, I also like the process of knitting, but there are some people who are more into that, like they're process knitters. They like the process of knitting. But I'm a product knitter. I like seeing my items, like progress in my items and seeing them get done. There are probably some other types of knitters as well. You could be a ego knitter, like I am in this episode. I knit a lot for myself. Or you can be a gift knitter. What type of knitter or crocheter are you? Because I want this podcast to be open for everyone who loves yarn. Or let's make it, what type of maker are you? I'm not going to say knitter or crocheter or yarn. What type of maker are you? So just to what's it called? To invite everyone in, because I want this to be a place for us all. So my Ravelry group is gonna come up probably after this episode is going live, because I'm gonna try and get this live today. But if you want to join there and talk about yarn with me, feel free to do that. Yeah, this giveaway will also probably go on over to Instagram. There might be one winner for the YouTube channel and one winner for the Instagram, or there will be two winners for the YouTube. I'm not sure yet. But comment below, what type of knitter are you? No, what type of maker are you? So if you want to join, click subscribe, follow me on Instagram, and comment below with what type of maker you are. As I said, I am a product knitter. I used to also be a winter knitter, but I transitioned into a summer knitter this year. So yeah, comment below, and please join me on my Ravelry and talk about yarn with me. I love talking about yarn, and as you can see, I also enjoy talking to myself. Ever since I was a kid, I've been, I don't know how to say it, I would sit in my closet in my room and just talk to myself, like pretend I was several different people. Like I had so many roles. So yeah, I like talking to myself. Thank you for watching this episode. I hope you enjoyed. I tried to keep it shorter than the last one. I don't know how the future episodes are gonna be, but thank you for watching and thank you for supporting me. It really means the world to me. I will see you in the next episode. Bye!